The people of London faced a new ice age at the end of the 19th century. The cataclysms that led to the ice age were caused by global climate changes, including violent volcanic eruptions, abnormal solar activity, and changes in the Earth's orbit. These factors led to a significant cooling of the climate, the formation of glaciers, and periodic climatic disasters that affected life on Earth. The inhabitants of London faced serious problems with the cold and lack of resources, and the main source of heat and energy for them was the steam generator. However, London did not have enough coal to keep the generator running for a long time, and the inhabitants of the city were forced to send an expedition north in search of new resources. The composition of the expedition was carefully selected so that the participants could solve all the problems encountered along the way and reach the goal. First of all, experienced and hardy explorers who know the northern terrain and ways to survive in difficult conditions were chosen. The most important task was to ensure the safety of the participants, so the expedition included several fighters who could protect the group from any dangers. Several engineers were also chosen to help maintain the steam core and other machinery needed for the expedition. In addition, the expedition included geologists who could help find a suitable place to extract the necessary resources, as well as a medic who could provide first aid and treatment in case of illness or injury. All members of the expedition were carefully selected for their professional and personal qualities so that they could work together under difficult conditions and succeed in their mission. The expedition heading north from London faced many everyday challenges of living in a harsh wilderness environment. The first problem was transporting the necessary equipment and materials over the long distance. The expedition consisted of several large transport wagons that could not always move easily through the off-road and endless forest wilderness. In addition, the expedition encountered various obstacles such as rivers, gorges, and mountain passes. This slowed and complicated the movement and required a great deal of effort and strength from the expedition members. Despite all efforts, much of the equipment was damaged or lost along the way, resulting in serious delays and the need for on-site repairs. Life in the camp was not easy either. The team faced difficulties in providing food and fresh water because they were forced to live away from any settlements and had no access to resources. In addition, there were many wild animals living in the wild forests that posed a threat to the expedition. Hunters from the team were forced to risk their lives to hunt wild animals to provide food. When James joined the expedition, he did not expect to meet the love of his life here. But when he saw Anna, he knew he could not live without her. Anna was the youngest member of the expedition. She was incredibly beautiful, with blonde hair and blue eyes. James was sure her face would never be forgotten by him. They spent a lot of time together, and James couldn't stop thinking about her. He saw how hard she worked at camp, how she smiled when they talked, and how she laughed when he joked. One day when they were out for a walk, James confessed his feelings to Anna. He told her that she was the most beautiful woman he had ever met and that he could not live without her. Anna smiled and replied that she felt affection for him, too. She said she loved how he was always ready to help, how he protected her when she was scared, and how he told her everything would be okay. From that moment on, they became a couple. They spent a lot of time together, going for walks, talking about their dreams and desires. Even though their relationship was new and had just begun, James and Anna were confident that they would find a way to stay together and overcome any difficulties. When the expedition finally reached the place where the coal was discovered, it was faced with the fact that resources were very limited. To gather enough coal, the expedition members were forced to go farther and farther, risking their lives. After they lost their supplies in a blizzard, the expedition members faced many problems. Their food and water were rapidly running out, and technical problems with the steam core made their journey even more difficult. The time came when the expedition members realized that they could not continue their journey without help. They decided to send 2 team members in search of help and necessary resources. James and Anna were chosen as the 2 members. They set out, hoping to find salvation. But after a few days their search ceased. They were lost, their provisions were exhausted, and they were forced to lie down in the snow and wait for help. They held each other's hands to keep warm and talked about their dreams for the future. They talked about wanting to live together in their own home and that they wanted to have children. Unfortunately, no help came, and they died a few days later. Their bodies were discovered by rescuers a few days later when it was too late. The expedition had lost 2 of its dearest members, and they remained only in the memory of their comrades. Eventually, it became impossible to go back because the expedition lost a lot of time en route. The expedition decided to continue searching for resources on land, but in the end the members of the expedition died as a result of hunger, cold, and attacks by wild animals that were guarding their territory. The expedition was completely destroyed, and the only witness to the tragedy was a medic who survived but was severely injured and was unable to return to London to report back. This is how the medic told his story. "Hello, I am the only survivor of the expedition. I was left alone in the middle of a deaf, snowy wasteland where everything around me is dead. I can't say I'm alive because it's not life. It is something else that is left behind after the tragic death of my comrades." We began our expedition in high spirits, full of determination and hope. We were confident in our abilities and ready for the challenges that awaited us. But, as is often the case in life, we could not foresee what would happen next. We faced many challenges, from snowstorms to technical problems with the steam core. Despite our resilience and experience, we were slowly losing hope and strength. When 2 of our comrades set out to find help, we were full of hope that things would soon work out. But they did not return. We realized that they could not survive without our help. When our food and water ran out, we knew the end was near. We tried to keep warm and talked about our dreams for the future. But each day our strength melted away more and more, and we could not find salvation. And then, just when we were ready to accept our fate, we managed to hear the sounds of the rescue team. We were expecting to be rescued, but when they found us, it was too late. I was alone, and I would never see my friends and comrades again. I will remember them for the rest of my days, and regret that we could not overcome the challenges that were before us. When news of the loss of the expedition reached London, the people of the city realized that their future was even bleaker, as they had no other sources of energy than a steam generator. The people faced hard times, and they had to resort to conservation of resources and a brutal distribution of food in order to survive. Thus, the story of the tragic expedition north was a reminder that technological progress is not always safe and that the price we pay for development can be very high.